Hey everybody, look who I have here today. It's Coach Judy, and we're going to dive into some mindset with a tool to help you stop stagnating at the level that you're at in your singing career. And this is a tool for like one of the big things that Judy and I have noticed holds otherwise talented singers back from really getting to that next level of opportunity, of income, of vocal proficiency, you name it. So I'm going to ask you guys first, have you ever been sitting in the waiting room at an audition and you hear everybody else going ahead of you and you're like in your head because they're all really good and you're like, how am I going to beat that? Like, how am I going to like stand out more than that? Or you think you're going to post a new song or single to social media. And as you do it, you're sort of scrolling through your feed and you notice this other song that somebody posted and you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't think mine is as good as that. Right. And so then what happens? You don't post, or you go into the audition and you're all in your head and so it doesn't go the way you want, or maybe you don't even go in, maybe you walk out, or maybe the next audition you don't even put yourself out there for, and now you stay stuck at the level that you're at. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Judy, who has some thoughts for you to shift your mind around this, what we call compare and despair. All right, take it away, Judy.
Yeah, it's so interesting how often the compare and despair part comes up, that people are really watching what others are doing and imagining, I'm not as good, I can't belt like they do, I am not as masterful in how I move with the audience. All of those stories start coming up. And so anything that's creating a story where that you don't feel good enough, that is compare and despair most of the time. Yes, we have these little gremlins and these little things that tell us that we're not good enough, but a large part of that is when we start looking at others. Think about it. When you're scrolling social media, even, you'll see people and you see them performing and you go, oh my goodness, they're so much better than me. They started so much younger than I did. And you make up all these reasons why you're not going to be successful because you're comparing to someone else. But you know what? The thing that really helps is when that comparison hits, is to ask yourself a couple of questions. First one is, but wait a minute. I know that they're singing a certain way, and I know that I'm really admiring how they sing, and I think they're amazing, but what makes my voice special? What story am I here to tell? Because you don't want to be them. You want to be you, right? And so comparing makes us want to be like someone else, makes us wish that we had the attributes that they have. And that is no help whatsoever. It just makes us feel bad about ourselves, right? And so when you have that, ask yourself those questions. What makes my voice special? What story am I here to tell? And reframe it really where that you can tell yourself that no one else can sing my truth the way that I can, right? Because no one can. You are uniquely the artist that you are. And so that's the next tip that I have is define your style and your message, or you're going to just chase trends and you're going to mimic others. And so that's what I see a lot is when people start trying to get that note just like somebody else. They want to master that song just like the original sang it. But that's where the special parts come in, is when your uniqueness steps in, when you get to sing it your way, when you get to put in your emotion, your voice, your uniqueness. That's what really makes things gel and gets people excited. And it's one of the things I love watching most of the singers that go through our program is when each one steps into their unique artistry and begins to stop the comparing and instead soars instead of despair, because they really believe who they are as a singer. So questions you can ask yourself for this one: what kind of music makes me feel most alive? What themes really excite me and do I go back to again and again? One thing you can do that we often do with our singers here is create an identity sheet for yourself. Talk about who you are as a singer. What are your influences? What are your tones? What are your values? What are the stories that you want to tell? And who are you singing for? Connect with those things so that you can step into that identity, not someone else's identity. When you're comparing, you're looking at their identity and wishing you had some of their attributes. And so if that is a problem, those things that you look at on social media, block them. When you're in those audition rooms, put on some headphones, listen to something else, block that out so that you're not in that compare and despair moment. And remember that other people's success doesn't mean you can't be successful. Look at all the people who are successful. You can be one of them too. So ask yourself, what's stopping me from having the same success as them? It's not because you don't have their voice. It's not because you don't have their stage presence. It's because you haven't stepped into who you really are as a performer. So it's allowing yourself to, I am every bit as good. I just get to be me. And I really want you to notice that I said, I get to be me, because it's the getting to be yourself that allows you to stop that comparison and instead soar toward what you really want. And then the last thing is to really embrace your growth and give yourself some vocal self-compassion, because, you know, being a singer, it's not completely about technical skill. Yes, that's huge. But you've heard Arden, if you've watched her or followed her any period of time, she has really emphasized, and it's the reason I'm here, that it's the mindset that really matters. It's the emotional piece of it. It's your emotional connection. And to have that so that you can build it into your skill, it absolutely requires you to be self-compassionate and kind toward yourself, especially when you're in such a competitive industry, because it can be really mean and cutthroat, but you don't have to let that stick to you. You can walk away from it. You can still be kind to yourself and say, hey, I can still do this. It's okay. I learned. Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate when you hit those notes. Even if they're not regular yet, celebrate them. Really show up even when it's difficult. Push through that resistance. Don't look at what the others are doing. Focus on you. It's the best thing you can do for yourself.
So I wanted to piggyback on what Judy's saying here, which is that the only comparison that matters is comparing the you of where you are right now to the you a week ago, to the you a month ago, to the you a year ago. That's what Judy's saying. Keep your eyes on yourself, because that's the only comparison that matters, because we're each on our own journey with our creativity, with our voice, with our careers, with our lives, and your journey might be a much longer trajectory than somebody else's. You might be digging yourself out of a much deeper hole technically, with a lot more technical issues, a lot more strain. Maybe you're coming back from a vocal injury. You cannot compare yourself and your journey to somebody who doesn't have those same struggles. There's a saying, don't compare your insides to somebody else's outsides. What you hear at that audition, what you see on social media, you don't know what that person has been through to sing like that or to record like that, right? So we, like Judy said, we create these stories. And so the number one thing that she's saying here is come back to yourself. The only comparison that matters is to you and where you were a week, a month, a year ago. Now, if you're looking at where you were a month, a week, a year ago, and you're noticing that the needle is not moving, that you really are stagnating, that you're not shifting the big issues in your technique, in your voice, that you're not getting better results out of your auditions, recordings, performances, then you have, again, from a self-compassionate place, you get to decide, okay, I need some work and I need some help. What I've been doing has not been working. So let me go find something better, whether it's better training, better producers, better whatever it is. Because again, if you keep doing the same thing in the same way, you're going to keep getting the same results. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have something that might help you, which is our next 7-day free online Pro Singer Breakthrough Masterclass series. So this is where I'm coaching, Judy's coaching, Coach Annie is coaching, and we're deep diving in hands-on, live, actionable techniques for breath support, for resonance, deep diving into technique, into the mind-body connection, into mindset, and how all of this comes together over 7 days, 90 minutes a day, to bring you breakthroughs at the beginning of this foundation as you work holistically. The way we work is very different. We're not just training your technique, because if you follow my content, you know that technique is not optimized in a vacuum. If you've got a ton of compare and despair going on and you go in, it doesn't matter how much good technique I've taught you. Your brain will go, oh, that's not good enough because it's not like that person who's saying, I don't sound like that or look like that. And so now you're going to twist yourself up into pretzels in your physiology to try to prove and force that. And the sound and the technique that you otherwise have goes out the window. And so in our 7-day free online masterclass series, we're going to be working this connection. Yes, I'm going to give you hardcore, game-changing, really high-level technique for your breast support, eliminating tension and strain, working through your mix, working through high notes in your range. And we're going to be doing the mindset piece that catalyzes all of that amazing technique work so that you guys understand that you can get better results in a really short period of time when you work this way. But I don't want you to take my word for it. That's why I do this for free. Come, join us. Spend 7 days training this way. We give you practice MP3s. We give you PDFs of all of our mindset work. You're going to have opportunities to volunteer and live coach with me and Judy and Annie, who's our other expert technique coach. So comment Masterclass in the comments of this video. And when you comment Masterclass, we will send you the link to register for the free Masterclass series. Get on it. Be there. I want to help you start the transformation that changes everything. So comment Masterclass. We'll send you the link to register, and I will see you guys there. Thank you to Coach Judy for sharing your wisdom with us today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, if you want to attend our next free 7-day online Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series, which you absolutely should do, then click that square button in the left-hand corner down there to register, and I will see you inside.